So, hello there everyone, and welcome. It is Niran here, and today it is time for yet another FIFA 20 career mode experiment. And today we have got an absolute stonker for you, ladies and gentlemen, because today we are seeing what would happen if there was a different number of teams in the Premier League. Specifically, there was only 10. We have in fact sacked off half of the Premier League in today's video. We just don't want them. There's no need for them to be in the league anymore, and we've tossed them aside. We are down to a 10-team Premier League, and we're just going to see how the season develops, how the career mode develops, what actually happens to the world of English football if there's only 10 teams in the league. Now, you may be wondering, Niran, how have you done that? What are you even talking about? Well, the man who has done this is FIFA, and you can check his link down in the description below. It'll take you to his channel where he does tutorials on how to mod the PC version of FIFA 20, and he also just does a load of other wacky things for me and for other YouTubers as well, so give him your support. But Niran, having 10 teams in the Premier League it's impossible. I hear what you're saying, lads, but I'm afraid to tell you that it isn't. Everything you thought you knew was a lie, because if we go across to the calendar, where the first few games of the season would usually be, you can see they aren't here. We've got Arsenal here on the 24th of August, only one league game in September against Chelsea, and then a game against Red Bull Salzburg in the Champions League. October looks a bit more busy in terms of league action. November, only one league game though. You can see a pretty decent pattern here. There are a lot less games in every single month and across the whole season because there's only half the teams to occupy them. February, the players might as well go on holiday. Treat your missuses to... Is that the plural of misses? I don't know. Treat your missuses to something for Valentine's Day because you're not going to be needed at the club. Go on here to the standings. We've got the Community Shield, obviously. But if we go on to the Premier League, you'll see only 10 teams. The top 4 still gets into the Champions League. 5th definitely gets into the Europa League. Maybe 6th, maybe 7th. And then the bottom 3 still get relegated. So 8th, 9th, and 10th will get relegated to the Championship. There's basically no margin for error. You're either in Europe or you're going down. There's literally no in between here, lads. Now, I don't know what this is going to mean for the rest of the competitions. I've already been warned that the Carabao Cup physically doesn't work, so I don't know how that's going to go down. The FA Cup might be fair game. The Community Shield is. The Champions League supposedly is as well, but we'll maybe check those a little bit later on. If you're going to enjoy this video though, slap a like on it and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. One thing I am wondering though is actually where are the other teams? Where have the other 10 teams actually gone? You'll see if we scroll through, there's a very short amount of teams in here, the likes of Bournemouth and Villa and plenty of other teams have just completely gone missing. Are they in the Championship if we scroll through? Doesn't look like they are. They've been banished from England completely. Let's search for Joe Linton, because he plays for Newcastle, and Newcastle are one of the teams that has been kicked out of this Premier League. So where is Joe Linton? Does he just not exist anymore? No, he does. Where are Newcastle? This is a mystery that needs solving. Usually when you search for a player and then back out to here, it comes up with all their details and what league they're in and everything. Rest of the world, that could be a shout. It is a shout. Yes, right, okay. Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Brighton, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Watford fans. Yep, you've got a slightly long away trip to Kaiser Chiefs in South Africa every now and again, but how long would that actually take? Hang on a second. Siri, how long does it take to get to South Africa?
Sorry, I can't give you traffic to that location.
What do you mean? Siri, why can you not tell me how to get to South Africa?
Getting directions to Pretoria, South Africa.
So you could get them in the first place, but now I don't even have the Maps app on my phone. This is a disaster. I'm gonna sim to the first game of the season and see what actually happens. Like, I'm still not convinced this isn't gonna break absolutely everything. United and Leicester have already played 2 games before we've even played 1. All right, here we go then. Arsenal, first game of the season. We're gonna sim it. This is gonna make for a very difficult league. I mean, okay, all right. Apparently not. It seems like Freddie Ljungberg still hasn't got Arsenal sorted out. What is going on here? I mean, I thought it was going to be difficult, but here we are. 4-0 victory against Arsenal in the first game. Are we even surprised, really? Is that even actually much of a shock? I've just realised we could play almost as many Champions League games as we do Premier League games. We will probably play more knockout fixtures than league games across the course of this campaign. That is mental. What does the news mean? The drought's finally ended for Firmino. He's played one game in the league. What are you talking about? Let's move to the end of September and see how the league is looking, because even by the end of September, we'll have only played 2 games, whereas other teams could have played like 5. The wait is over. FIFA 20 is available today. Honestly, EA, I wish I'd waited longer. Right, so the Champions League still works fine as well, by the way, for anyone wondering. That's still kicking along nicely. Spurs there with 3 points in their group. City top of Group C. Liverpool, ourselves, they're doing well in Group E, as you would probably expect. Down in Group H, Chelsea as well, top of their little table. Right, so City are top. They've played 3 games, and they're on 7 points. They've played a game more than us, which is all fine and dandy. Wolves there in 3rd. However, they have played double the games of us so far. The FA Cup still exists. It's stuck on round 1, though. It isn't advancing, and it also has the Champions League graphic in the background. For what reason, I don't know. Tottenham beat Leicester 5-0. Some of these results are mental. There's only 5 games in total in October. We're now at the end of December, which pretty much signals the halfway point of the season. Obviously, you've got to remember there'll now only be 18 games. We've still not dropped any points. Arsenal still in the relegation zone. We're now going to sim to the end of the season, because I want to see what actually happens. I want to see how the league ends. I want to see, like, who was the top scorers and all that sort of stuff, obviously without half the teams in the league. But I also want to see what happens when we go into Season 2. Will the game crash? Will it actually work? Will we get new championship teams into the league, or will some of the rest of the world teams automatically go in to replace them instead? But for the meantime, Season number 1 is done, and we have won every single game. Do you understand how mental that is? You've seen the squad. There's no, like, 99 rated players in there. It's just a normal starting 11, and we've won every single game. We've won the league by 20 points. Spurs, United, and City finished level on points with identical records. 34 points apiece. Goal difference the only deciding factor, meaning that Spurs come 2nd, United 3rd, and City finish in 4th position. Chelsea and Arsenal will be in the Europa League, potentially West Ham as well. Meanwhile, Everton, Wolves, and Leicester all go down on 12 points. So very, very even indeed. The FA Cup did actually progress to round 2 and its replays, but didn't get any further than that, so that's not ideal. The Champions League was won by Barcelona over Bayern 3-1. We actually made it to the semi-finals, where we lost to the eventual winners, and in the Europa League, Manchester United were victorious over Borussia Dortmund. Now, looking at the player stats, Sadio Mane finishes the season with the Golden Boot. Only played 18 matches. That's the most that he could actually play. Got 11 goals. He shares it technically with Marcus Rashford, Aguero, Eriksen, Firmino, and Kane all with 9. Mental to see players in the top 25 of the Golden Boot race with just 3 goals. Divock Origi finished 23rd in this, having played 6 matches in total. And for clean sheets, Alisson is top. Only 13 goalkeepers in the whole league kept a clean sheet. We've won every single game in the season, got to the semi-finals of the Champions League, won the Premier League and Community Shield, and we've still got a dangerous manager rating. Just, I don't understand. Right, we're preparing now to jump into Season number 2 to see whether the game can actually handle having 10 teams in a Premier League for more than 1 at a time. Okay, well, this has gone well. Sorted out pre-season. You can see the standings here. We don't really care about that, though. We're looking at the Premier League, and it does exist, and it's teams that were promoted from the Championship. So Bristol City, Fulham, and West Brom came up from the 2nd tier. I'm going to assume that means that all those Premier League teams are still in the rest of the world section. Indeed, they are. Tell you what I'll do now. Final part of this experiment, then we'll sim this 2nd season and see how the promoted teams do. Now, for this season, it's completely different as well on the calendar. All the games are done by Boxing Day. There's no more football after December. January, February, March, April, and May are completely blank, whereas obviously last time it was kind of spread out across the season. Season 2 then is simmed, and once again we've won the league, but it was a much smaller margin this time around. We do win the league, just 2 clear of Manchester City, whilst all the promoted teams do in fact go straight back down. I think though that is going to wrap up today's video, showing you what would happen if the Premier League only had 10 teams. If it decided it was going to sack off half of its occupants. If you enjoyed the video though, slap a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. You can also follow me on social media. It is at TheOfficialFNG on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.